Hello and welcome to Millennium Sports World. Today we brought local and international sports stories including tennis, world soccer, hockey, basketball, auto race, cricket and some more sports news. So let's see what's waiting in today's sports world. At first, let's have some latest tennis stories. Matteo Berrettini has Carlos Alcaraz in his sights at Wimbledon after admitting he would have signed in blood to play at the All England club when injury was threatening to derail his career. A barnstorming run through the draw has taken the charismatic Italian into a fourth-round blockbuster against the world number one on Monday. It's what you want, right? You want the play against the best players in the world. Playing against Carlos, it's always been a pleasure, a great fight, said the 27-year-old Berrettini. The Italian giant was runner-up to Novak Djokovic in 2021, but missed last year's tournament through COVID. A stomach injury which restricted him to one match between April and June pushed him to the brink of another withdrawal. When I arrived, I wasn't sure even if I was going to play, he said. I thought I'm not ready, but then I missed too many events in the last years and I couldn't leave this place without trying. This place has something special. I feel a kind of energy I don't feel anywhere else. Berrettini missed a chunk of the 2022 season with a hand injury before his latest physical issues struck. He was forced to withdraw from the Monte Carlo Masters after 2 rounds because of his abdomen injury and sat out a second successive French Open. His return for the grass court season saw him slump to a first-round defeat in Stuttgart against compatriot Lorenzo Sonego when he managed just 3 games. Twice, Iga Swiatek was a single point from exiting Wimbledon on Sunday. A single point from the sort of confounding defeat at the place that gives her so much more trouble than any of other Grand Slam tournaments. Down a set and 6-5 in the second against Belinda Bencic, the number 1 ranked Swiatek steeled herself and dispensed with the pair of match points. She raised the first with a booming forehand, the second with a forceful backhand. And soon enough, Swiatek was not just back in the contest, she was controlling it. Frustrated in the late afternoon sunshine at center court, so close to defeat in the early evening shadows, Swiatek managed to reach the Wimbledon quarterfinals for the first time by coming back for a 6-7, 7-6, 6-3 victory over the 14th-seeded Bencic. Swiatek, who will face wildcard entry Elena Svitolina of Ukraine for a semi-final berth, extended her unbeaten run to 14 matches, which includes claiming her 4th major title at the French Open last month. Swiatek has won 3 championships at Roland Garros and 1 at the US Open, but she never before had been past the 4th round at the All England club. Last year, she had a 37-match winning streak snapped during a 3rd round Wimbledon loss. The International Tennis Federation has awarded Justin Henin its highest honor, the Philippe Chatrier Award. Henin won 7 Grand Slam singles titles, an Olympic gold medal, and was part of Belgium's team that won the Fed Cup, now called the Billie Jean King Cup, in 2001. The award, named after the former ITF president, was introduced in 1996 and recognizes people who have made significant contributions to the sport on and off the court. She was one of the best players of her generation on the court and since retirement has made a significant and ongoing contribution to our sport at all levels, ITF President David Haggerty said Saturday. The 41-year-old Henin has established a successful academy in Belgium and a charitable foundation that helps provide sporting opportunities for children with disabilities. The award was presented Saturday at the ITF World Champions Awards at London's Victoria and Albert Museum. Now let's have some latest football stories. Former Barcelona and Inter Milan midfielder Luis Suarez, the only male footballer born in Spain to win the Ballon d'Or, died at the age of 88 on Sunday. The Spaniard became the first player born in the country to win the Ballon d'Or in 1960 and later coached La Roja at the 1990 World Cup. From the RFEF, we want to convey our condolences to all relatives and close friends of Luis Suarez Miramontes, wrote the Spanish Football Federation on Twitter. Suarez was loved in Italy too after becoming one of the league's most celebrated midfielders at Inter Milan under coach Helenio Herrera in 1960s. Saying goodbye to Luisito leaves us with a deep melancholy, the nostalgia of his perfect and inimitable football, which inspired generations, is combined with the memory of a unique footballer and a great Inter player, wrote Inter in a statement. Suarez, born in La Coruña in 1935, began his career at Deportivo La Coruña before moving to Barcelona in 1954. He won 2 La Liga trophies with the Catalan Giants, among other silverware, and earning the Ballon d'Or. The only other player born in Spain to win the Ballon d'Or is Barcelona midfielder Alexia Putellas, who has won the women's trophy twice. Manchester United's star goalkeeper David De Gea on Saturday confirmed his departure from the club. De Gea, who joined United in 2011, established himself as side's key player, while also gaining stature as one of the best goalkeepers in the current generation. The Spaniard took to his official Twitter account to announce his departure from United. "I just wanted to send this farewell message to all Manchester United supporters," De Gea began. "I would like to express my unwavering gratitude and appreciation for the love from the last 12 years. We have achieved a lot since my dear Sir Alex Ferguson brought me to this club. I took incredible pride every time I pulled on this shirt to lead the team, to represent this institution. The biggest club in the world was an honor only bestowed upon a few lucky footballers. It has been an unforgettable and successful period since I came here. I didn't think from leaving Madrid as a young boy we would achieve what we did together. Now it's the right time to undertake a new challenge, to push myself again in new surroundings. Manchester will always be in my heart. Manchester has shaped me and will never leave me. We have seen it all." Manchester United's manager Erik ten Hag lauded De Gea's extraordinary career at United, during which he won a Premier League title while also winning the Europa League title in 2016. Individually, De Gea won the Player of the Year title on multiple occasions for the club. Paris Saint-Germain have signed defender Lucas Hernandez from Bayern Munich on a 5-year deal, the Ligue 1 champion said on Sunday. The transfer fee has not been disclosed, but French media reported that PSG had paid Bayern a fee of 40 million euros plus add-ons for the 27-year-old. "I'm really excited. I have been waiting to join PSG for a long time, and it's finally happened. It's a very special day for me and I'm very happy to be here," Hernandez said in a statement. Atletico Madrid, Hernandez's boyhood club, will also receive a significant fee, according to Spanish media reports. The France international made 107 appearances for the German league champions since his arrival in 2019, but played only 7 league games last season after suffering a cruciate ligament rupture injury at the World Cup that kept him sidelined for the remainder of the season. Hernandez, PSG's 5th new signing, joins midfielders Manuel Ugarte and Lee Kang-in, central defender Milan Skriniar, and forward Marco Asensio. The club also sacked manager Christopher Galtier on Wednesday and replaced him with former Barcelona and Spain coach Luis Enrique. Kylian Mbappe has described his club Paris Saint-Germain as a divisive team amid a contract standoff between the player and the French Ligue 1 champions. Relations between PSG and Mbappe soured last month after the French forward said he would not renew his contract, which expires at the end of next season, meaning he can leave for free in June 2024. If he rounds down his contract, PSG would be unable to recoup any of the 180 million euros they spent to sign him. PSG president Nasser Al-Khelaifi has said they will not let him go for free. Mbappe, League One's top scorer in the last 5 seasons, has been linked with a move to Real Madrid. I think that playing for PSG doesn't help much because it's a divisive team, a divisive club, he said in an interview with France Football magazine. He did not elaborate. PSG representatives did not immediately reply when contacted by Reuters for comment on Saturday. PSG have won 9 of the last 11 League One titles, but Mbappe's frustration lies with their performances in the Champions League, a trophy the Parisian club have never won despite all their investment in the squad. PSG went out in the last 16 this year when they were beaten by Bayern Munich, failing to score in both legs. Mbappe was injured for the first leg and said they were helpless in the second. Mbappe said he was the most decisive player in the group stage but could not explain what PSG were missing with the club hitting a glass ceiling in Europe. We did what we could, period. You have to talk to the people who make the team, who organize the squad, who build this club, he added. New Chelsea manager Mauricio Pochettino underlined the challenges that engulfed Enzo Fernandez, Mykhailo Mudryk and Raheem Sterling in the last season, but said he will help the trio reach their full potential with the help of a customized training regime. Chelsea hired the 51-year-old former Tottenham Hotspur and Paris Saint-Germain boss in May after finishing 12th in the Premier League following a tumultuous campaign, which saw Thomas Tuchel, Graham Potter and Frank Lampard take charge at Stamford Bridge. Different players arrived in different circumstances, but of course, now is an opportunity, Pochettino told Chelsea's website, outlining his plans for the team ahead of the pre-season. Chelsea began their preparations for the new campaign in the United States with a game against National League champions Wrexham on July 19th. I hope we can help them to achieve their best level, a higher level, and try to perform for Chelsea in the way that people expect, he said. Now is a new start, a fresh start, and I think they need to show their real quality. But we need to create this platform for them to feel comfortable and breathing space for them to perform and improve. Pochettino said former Benfica midfielder Fernandes, who was named the best youngster at last year's World Cup after helping Argentina clinch the title, needed rest after a grueling schedule. United States midfielder Brenden Aaronson will play in Germany's top flight next season after joining Union Berlin on loan from Leeds on Sunday. Aaronson has agreed a season-long deal after Leeds was relegated from the Premier League last term. We would like to wish Brenden good luck during his time at the stadium under Elton Forster, his club said. The 22-year-old Aaronson made 36 Premier League appearances for Leeds last season after joining from Red Bull Salzburg for a fee close to £25 million in the summer of 2022. He joins Union Berlin after it qualified for the Champions League for the first time. His brother Paxton also plays in Germany for Frankfurt. Aaronson scored 1 goal in 40 appearances in all competitions for Leeds. He is the third player to leave on a season-long loan following relegation. Diego Llorente and Robin Koch joined Roma and Eintracht Frankfurt, respectively, in similar deals earlier this week. Former Norwich boss Daniel Farke has been hired as head coach and charged with the responsibility of trying to guide the club back to the Premier League. The coach of the Zambia team preparing to make its debut at the Women's World Cup has been accused of sexual misconduct, and the case was referred to world body FIFA last year for investigation, according to a report in the Guardian newspaper. Bruce Murphy was accused of coercing players into having sex with him if they wanted to keep their place on the team, according to the report published by the British newspaper on Saturday. Other Zambian coaches and officials were also accused of sexual misconduct and investigated, including the under-17 girls team coach, according to the paper. Zambia Soccer Association President Andrew Kamanga confirmed in a message to the Associated Press on Sunday that allegations of sexual misconduct were referred to FIFA and Zambian police last year and said it was an old story. Kamanga didn't name any of the people facing allegations of wrongdoing. In line with protocol, FIFA said its independent ethics committee would not comment on whether or not there was an investigation underway. Zambia's Soccer Association launched its own investigation last year but also didn't name any officials, coaches, or players involved at the time. The Zambian Association said when it made the announcement in September that it was taking the allegations seriously. But The Guardian quoted an anonymous source as saying that the Zambian Association was turning a blind eye to the allegations because of the recent success of its women's team under Mbappe. Now let's have latest hockey story. One of the last remaining links to the Kings Stanley Cup championship teams and one of the best players in franchise history is extending his stay in Los Angeles. Captain Anze Kopitar signed a 2-year extension worth $14 million with LA on Thursday. He is now under contract through the 2025-26 NHL season at an annual salary cap hit of $7 million. We are pleased to have reached an agreement that will keep Anze in Los Angeles as our group takes the next step in competing for a Stanley Cup, General Manager Rob Blake said in a statement. He is the heart and soul of this team as our captain, and he will continue to play a major role on our club. The center from Slovenia was nearly a point-a-game player and the Kings' leading scorer this past year at age 35 with 28 goals and 46 assists. His 8-year, $80 million contract is up after next season. Kopitar is one of 2 players remaining from 2012 and 2014 when the Kings won the Cup for the first and second times, along with defenseman Drew Doughty. Los Angeles has become home for me and my family, and I'm excited to extend my career here, Kopitar said. I have been with this organization through it all, and I know our group is close to achieving something special. I look forward to helping us reach that next level and achieving the ultimate goal of winning the Stanley Cup again. Kopitar has played all 17 of his NHL seasons with LA. He has twice won the Silka Trophy as the league's top defensive forward and recently won his second Lady Byng for gentlemanly conduct. Now it's time for latest basketball story. Victor Wembanyama and Scott Henderson won't get a second act in Las Vegas. There is no Thompson twins show either. Injuries have affected what shaped up to be the murky game Sunday in the NBA Summer League after 2 top players were hurt on opening night. Henderson, the number 3 pick in the draft, and Amen Thompson, who went right after him to Houston, were hurt in the same game Friday. The Portland Trail Blazers announced that Henderson wouldn't play Sunday against San Antonio because of a strained right shoulder, nor will Amen Thompson go in the preceding game against the Detroit Pistons, who drafted Usher Thompson with the number 5 pick. The guards from Overtime Early became the first brothers to be top 5 picks in the same draft. Henderson's absence means he won't match up again against Wembanyama, the number 1 pick by the Spurs, after their teams played 2 exhibition games in Las Vegas last fall. Wembanyama scored 37 and 36 points for his French team in the 2 games, while Henderson had 28 for G League Ignite in the opener before having to leave the second game early after hurting his knee. Wembanyama wasn't nearly that sharp in his much-hyped Summer League debut on Friday, shooting just 2 for 13 and scoring 9 points. The 7'3" forward acknowledged that he was even confused at times in his opener. Now, latest auto race story. On a day when Brad Pitt joined the Formula One grid to shoot his new movie, defending champion Max Verstappen was reduced to a cameo role in his own win, with F1 fans gripped by the fight for second place. Apart from losing the lead to Lando Norris at the start and then taking it back, Verstappen's cruise on Sunday to yet another win. His 6th in a row lacked the Hollywood-style drama of Norris' battle with 7-time champion Lewis Hamilton for second. That fits a pattern this season of dominant wins for the Red Bull driver and increasingly hard-fought battles behind him as Mercedes, Ferrari, Aston Martin, and now McLaren jostle to be the second fastest team. It's very confusing, to be honest, because every single race is someone else, Verstappen said. Filming for Pitts' upcoming F1-themed movie had been taking place all weekend around the F1 sessions, using black and gold cars from the fictional APX team. Pitt himself and co-star Damson Idris joined the grid in racing suits before the start. Verstappen extended his overall lead to 99 points over teammate Sergio Perez. First place in a race earns 25 points. Now it's time for some latest cricket stories. England secured another memorable Ashes victory at Headingley after Harry Brook helped to set up a 3-wicket win over Australia in the third test on Sunday to keep the 5-match series alive. Brook and Chris Woakes had shared a match-changing 59-run partnership for the 7th wicket on the 4th day before Brook was caught off Mitchell Starc to make it an increasingly tense finish. England was then at 230 for 7 in its second innings with a target of 251. Playing his 10th test match, Brook scored 75 of 93 balls with 9 fours. He batted with maturity and appeared ready to carry the burden all the way to the final stretch before passing it over to Woakes and Mark Wood, who both made an emphatic first impression on their belated introductions to the series. Woakes hit the winning boundary, a crunching shot that sent the ball toward the delirious Western Terrace. Late in the afternoon session against Starc as England finished on 254 for 7. Pacer Wood took 5 for 34 and 2 for 66, while Woakes had a 6-wicket match haul that included key batters Marnus Labuschagne in the first innings and Usman Khawaja in the second. Australia leads 2-1 with the 4th test at Old Trafford starting on July 19. The last 12 runs came in a frenzy, short balls flicked and pulled in all directions, and Carey, whose controversial stamping of Bairstow at Lord's added an edge in the run-up to this test, delighting the crowd with a late drop. But the final moment was all class. Woakes flaying Starc for 4 in a rousing win and the latest twist in a superb Ashes series that deservedly stayed alive. Wood was named player of the match. Ehsan Mazari, Pakistan's minister in charge of sports, has said that his country will withdraw from the 2023 World Cup if India avoids travelling across the border for the Asia Cup. My personal opinion, since the Pakistan Cricket Board comes under my ministry, is that if India demands to play their Asia Cup games at a neutral venue, we would also demand the same for our World Cup games in India, Mazari told the Indian Express. The statement came a day after Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif formed a high-profile committee to dwell on the issue of the country's participation in the October-November World Cup that India is hosting. The committee will be headed by Foreign Minister Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, and I am among the 11 ministers who are part of it. We will discuss the issue and give our recommendations to the PM, who is also the patron-in-chief of PCB. The PM will take the final decision. According to the minister, India brings sports into politics. I don't understand why the Indian government doesn't want to send their cricket team here. Sometime back, a huge baseball contingent from India was in Islamabad to play. There was also the bridge team that had traveled to Pakistan. There were around 60+ people. I was the chief guest of the event. They won here and left. Pakistan's football, hockey and chess teams also traveled to India, Mazari said. Now latest bike race story. On the same mountain where 5-time Tour de France champion Jacques Anquetil and Raymond Poulidor wrote themselves into race history 59 years earlier, all eyes Sunday were on Jonas Vingegaard and Tadej Pogacar's continued rivalry at cycling's biggest race. Neither Vingegaard nor Pogacar finished first at the summit of the Puy de Dôme after Canadian Michael Woods delivered an impressive solo effort to claim the biggest success of his career. But the fierce rivals, riding well behind the day's breakaway they had allowed to form, were again in the spotlight. The two have been in a fierce duel since the start in Bilbao, Spain, of this year's pulsating tour and will certainly enjoy Monday's first rest day. Vingegaard, the defending champion from Denmark, after he dethroned Pogacar last year, had the upper hand in the first round of their battle in altitude. His Slovenian rival responded in style to regain time in the next two mountain stages. With 2 weeks of racing remaining, only 17 seconds separate the two in the general classification, with Vingegaard wearing the yellow jersey. Jay Hindley is in the third place, 2 minutes 40 seconds off the pace. That's all in today's sports world. Keep watching Millennium Sports World for latest sports update. Millennium TV US and Millennium News 24 network is transmitted and available to be watched free for all LED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia, available with the Sky Network, Worldwide Jadoo TV, Radiant IP TV, Worldwide Jago Media Network and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with us for all types of informative and entertainment program. Thank you.